It's Thursday, the 28th of October, 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Morning, Michael.
5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get into it. First story, big one today. Inflation is on the rise, but is it growing fast enough to force the Reserve Bank to lift interest rates sooner than expected? That's what we all want to know.
Sure is. All we mortgage holders want that one answered. Consumer price figures released yesterday show that headline prices rose 0.8% during the September quarter to be 3% higher over the year. The all-important underlying inflation, which takes out all those volatile items, rose by 0.7% and is at 2.1% for the year. That's the first time in 6 years inflation has hit that level. On a 6-month basis, inflation is running at about 2.4% annualised, and the momentum is with price rises. If the Reserve Bank ever wanted a reason to say it will start tapering its bond buying program or hint that the official cash rate might rise before 2024, then yesterday's CPI data gives it one. Certainly there's plenty of market economists out there who think the next interest rate rise will be as soon as November next year.
All right, a lot sooner than previously expected. On to story number 2 this morning. There's plenty of COVID news around, Sean.
Great news. Did you know from Monday, Michael, we can travel overseas without getting a bureaucrat to tick off our application? That's the big COVID news.
That is fantastic news.
Sure is. Also, the federal government said it will allow booster vaccination shots from November 8 after the Therapeutic Goods Administration gave the go-ahead. The aged and disabled will get priority. Now, people will receive the third shot about 6 months after the second because that's when the effect of the double dose starts to wear off.
All right, on to story number 3. The boss of Woolworths, Brad Banducci, was out and about yesterday, and he's warned that the supermarket sales boom is over.
Yes, he said the shift to at-home consumption was unwinding as economies reopened and people ate out again. It means sales for Woolworths in New South Wales have been slowing, albeit from very, very high numbers. By contrast, the big W stores have benefited from more foot traffic. Now, Mr. Banducci had a bit to say about prices as well. In some areas, such as red meat, prices were higher and expected to keep climbing. In others, notably fruit, prices were actually falling. You might remember we spoke about a glut of avocados recently. That's the sort of thing he's talking about. He also said that since the pandemic, more than 22,000 Woolworths staff have been forced to isolate after around 1,500 sites were identified as exposure sites. What a tough business to run in those conditions.
Yeah, it would have been a nightmare. Okay, on to story number 4, and it's a bit of a sad one. Maybe not for everyone, but I'm finding it a little bit tough. The Commonwealth Bank's Dolomites program has been scrapped.
Yeah, did you ever use the Dolomites program?
Absolutely. I started out with the Commonwealth Bank and I'm still with them today.
Exactly, and that's kind of the problem according to the corporate regulator. The iconic program that taught many of us how to bank has been scrapped. Now, the Commonwealth Bank began its education program back in 1931. Back then, of course, it was government-owned, and it's pretty much run one in one form or another ever since. Last year, it hit a hurdle when the corporate watchdog said school outreach programs didn't actually improve savings behaviour. What they mostly did was create many Commonwealth Bank customers. There's been a lot of pressure on Commonwealth Bank, and alas, Dolomites is no more.
Well, Sean, I, for one, will miss them. On to story number 5 this morning, and I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Yesterday, we talked about Michael Jordan's shoes. Today, we have Tom Brady's ball.
That's exactly right. Now, Tom Brady, for those who don't know him, is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in American football. He played for the New England Patriots for many, many years. He won 7 Super Bowls with them. He joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a couple of seasons ago, and on the weekend, he threw his 600th touchdown pass. Now, the ball somehow ended up with a fan, and Brady wants it back. He's offered 1 Bitcoin to the fan if that person returns it. Now, it's pretty generous, given a Bitcoin is worth more than 60,000 US dollars. However, there's a bit of a furor now because the ball that Tom Brady threw to be the first person to reach the 600 milestone is probably worth closer to $900,000, according to analysts. What would you do, Michael? Give the ball back or not?
Oh, that's my retirement sitting right there. I'll be hanging on to that one. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%.
All right, that's it. Top 5 stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Thursday, the 28th of October, 2021. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if you want a little bit more information, you can find our longer podcast called Fear and Greed on your podcast platform. You can also sign up for our free daily newsletter at our website, fearandgreed.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fear and Greed Business Headlines. Have a great day.